Hi, all. This is Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York, where it was a gloriously beautiful, chilly, but nice day. The morning winds subsided, and it was very comfortable just to wear a little sweatshirt, especially if you weren't out for a prolonged period of time. Not sure that the temperatures got to beyond the mid 30s, but nevertheless, it was a beautiful day in Long Island. So beautiful that I decided to go to Roosevelt Field. That's a mall in Long Island, New York, and a very big one and a nice one. And I visited the Tesla store. And that was interesting in and of itself. The salesman assured me there's no problem with production on the Model 3. And Elon Musk, of course, had tweeted much the same. I think he said he was going to produce 500,000 of these cars during 2019. And of course, bad boy Musk got into trouble again because he didn't check with his lawyers before he tweeted. He shouldn't tweet. He just shouldn't tweet. He says, and he said in a 20-minute, in 20 minutes that he had no respect for the SEC. They'll have to teach him a lesson. I hope not. Anyway, after hours, as a result of Elon's antics and the SEC coming down on him a little bit, the stock is off about 10 points. The Dow ended essentially flat on the day, up a bit, but if you look at the candle, it's pretty much a doji. Problem with that doji candle is I don't like the gravestone type doji in particular. It's proved ominous for the Dow. And we have a doji-like candle that looks like a gravestone candle. We'll look at it. And as a result of that, along with some other factors, I'm going to call for a pullback in the Dow and the other markets for the rest of the week. I don't think it'll be a long pullback. I think it'll be a short one. We'll talk about it. In anticipation of a little bit of a pullback, Dr. J closed his swing position on Amazon, up about 200 points on the remaining portion of the shares I had. I closed my position on, Advanced Micro, what was left of that position, about half. I did well on that trade. I made the original target and plus. And what else? That was all the selling I did. But I did do a little tiny bit of nibbling, and I'm probably sorry I did, to have bought a little bit more CGC. And my biggest position, as you know, Kronos in the pot stock, amongst the pot stocks, got killed today on a downgrade by Jefferies. Jeffrey, what are you trying to do to me? I'm not going to be too upset because these downgrades have an effect for about 1 day, sometimes 1 hour. We'll see. We'll see about the rest of the week. Now, I think the market will be weak as a whole. So maybe Kronos does sell off a little more. Jeffrey's target is basically an underperform or a sell. I think their target is $17. Dr. J doesn't like that. I hope they're wrong. I remember when Facebook, after the IPO, was trading at about $19, down from the 32 that IPO'd at, something like that. And analysts were saying $9. There's no way to make money. How do you monetize? Well, the fellow with the hood, MZ, he figured it out. Anyway, there's always a lot of analysts that don't understand why the big move up in a stock, or why it deserves the market cap that it has, despite all their figures, their spreadsheets, their profit to earnings ratios, and whatever they look at. It doesn't matter, because there's a crazy desire for pot stocks. There's a crazy desire for legalized pot that they just don't understand. They gave reasons why Kronos is the weakest of the group, but they were pretty much down on the whole group. So I'm taking their analysis with a grain of salt. I wasn't happy. It cost me money today. But I'm sure it's temporary. That's why I kind of added a little CGC on the down, when it moved down a bit. I figured it will bounce back, along with Kronos, along with Tilray, along with Aurora, and so on. Aurora was actually up on the day, the shining star. And that's probably because Jefferies rated it the highest of the pot stocks. I guess it gave it a buy, and I don't remember what target, but maybe 15. I think it's selling at 7, so a target of 15 sounds pretty attractive. Although don't hold me to that, I don't remember if Jeffrey said 15 or not. Anyway, we will look at the charts, and of the stocks we charted over the weekend, I want to focus on 2 of them tonight. Voyager Pharmaceuticals, up again on its collaboration with AbbVie. See, I didn't even know the technicals the last time it caused a jump, but I know it now. So that's a biggie. It means lots of do-re-mi to Voyager. It means no dilution. It means all kinds of good things. The other one I want to look at is Snap. I can't snap my fingers. Not very well. But Snap continued to crackle and pop. We're going to look at the chart. All right, let's get right to it. As always, do your own due diligence. My opinions and my ideas are strictly my own and do not constitute investment advice. Check with an investment advisor before acting on my ideas, or if you want to follow at your own risk. Occasionally, Dr. J has some tremendous ideas, but once in a while I throw in a clunker. Your job is to differentiate between the great ideas and the clunkers. Not an easy job. And I told you once before, if you can figure that out, let me know. Share it with me. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. I mean, I got a lot of views. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the likes, but I got very few comments. Very few. So if you don't mind, instead of commenting only on Twitter and only on StockTwits, I want to see I would like some more comments in YouTube, if you can. Maybe you can't. I don't know if it's much more difficult, but if you can. Also, subscribe if you haven't already and share the link. Let's get back to the charts. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, there we go. Left to right, what do you say? Left to right? We only have 5 charts to look at. We should be quick. The Dow is in a beautiful upward channel for over 2 months. But, you know, I always get nervous when it's in that upward channel for over 2 months. So it had a one of its rare red candles today and one of its rare gravestone dojis today. So that portends a possibility of a downward move to me to, let's say, the bottom of this candle, 25,564, or perhaps more, perhaps the 25,000 even. So either between a 500 and 1,000 point move down, I think is possible. If it doesn't happen, if it doesn't happen for the rest, by the end of this week, I think looking into next week, it may. So I foresee some weakness ahead. Could be beginning tomorrow, especially off this candlestick. I've shown you other gravestone dojis, like the one on 10.3, and it seems like other small dojis have also had spelled trouble, whether they're gravestone or not. Has another sort of gravestone doji. And this is just more or less a regular doji. This one is pretty close to a gravestone doji, but it wasn't a big sell-off. All right, so I'm not going back any further. You get the idea that gravestone dojis are not my favorite candle to see in a strong upward market. In a downward market, big deal. But in a strong upward market like we've been having, spells trouble, trouble, Knuble. There's trouble, Knuble and trouble are brothers. And Knuble was looking for trouble, so the story goes. If anybody really knows that story, the story of Knuble and Trouble, the brothers, let me know, because I don't remember how that story goes. So you could write that as a comment if you know the answer. Okay, let's look at the Qs. And the Qs are the best performer over the last 6 months. Is that right? No, the Dow. The purple is the Dow, the diamonds. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, Carol Channing. And my throat is raspy like Carol Channing. It was up 0.1%, while the other indices were all down. Spiders were down 3.5%. The IBB and the Qs were down about over 5%, while the weakest performer, the IWM, was down 8%. So what I expect is the two worst performers, the IWM and the IBB, to become the two best performers in the blowout last leg of the bull market, which I think is coming. So I think you'll see in 6 months from now, these two leading the pack. Okay. Snap, crackle, and pop. Remember I said if it gets above this resistance, it's going to take off? Well, it had a nice move today, and it did get above it, and not unexpectedly. Where do I think it's going? I think it could go and test 1183, right around there. In fact, I think it's still a good swing trade, better one yesterday, of course. But if you buy at $10 and you sell at 1180, that's not bad, with a stop loss of about 9. Tesla. Tesla is a great company. I mean, I was so impressed with the Model 3. For $42,000, I think he said, I could have it overnight. It was totally available. The new cheaper version that doesn't have leather or whatever is meant for the average family, $35,000. And it's going to be a phenomenal seller at that price, I believe. So I like what's in store for Tesla, as long as Elon Musk can stay out of jail. It's funny, I asked the salesman that today. I said, can Elon Musk stay out of jail? And he laughed. Little did I know how coincidental that was. Do you believe in coincidence, by the way? I don't. I don't believe in coincidence. I think something told me that Elon would get himself into a mess of trouble again. Not necessarily with SEC, but I guess who else? And it sure happened. I mean, the guy is, I don't know. I don't know what to say. He's brilliant. He's driven, but he's not savvy when it comes to dealing with the public and not the public so much, but the regulatory agencies. He has disdain and he shows it. Well, I have a feeling they may slap him hard because of it. Voyager. Oh, where do I think Tesla's going? That's interesting. I think it's going all the way back to 278, 279, the middle of this big green candle. I think it's phenomenal buy anywhere around 280. I think it's a great buying opportunity. If the market is weak, it'll go down. If it goes down because of this tweet, fine, let it buy it up. I might buy some at 280. Even if it is just for a swing trade back up to about 305. Or maybe, what's the low of this candle? 295. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad move. I don't know. I mean, it's how long you want to hold it. But I think 278, 279 is a good entry point. And then you have the luxury of putting in a tight stop, let's say at the low of this candle, 252, 250. So you buy at 278, 250 stop, 3 whatever the number, 3 something for take profit, maybe 305. Okay, so 25 points basically in each direction. I like that trade. It might take a while to come to fruition. You might not get that entry point. A lot of ifs, ands, and buts. Voyager. Voyager jumped on Friday. It jumped again on Monday, but it came back down to finish unchanged. Well, up 5%, not unchanged. Largely because of the gap up in the morning on the closing price to the opening price. That was most of the gain, as it just eked out a tiny little green body. In fact, it's basically a doji. But after hours, it's strong. And I think this AbbVie deal will have legs. People will want to get in. So I think they'll buy the dips as they did, well, they didn't do yet. But I think a retreat back to this 13 level will be bought. That's what I think. So I think a retreat back to the 13 level. What's the high of this candle? 1310. Yeah, I think this will be bought right about that. Right about that 13 level, you'll see buying coming in. Maybe even a little bit higher, 1310. Okay, so yeah, why not? 1310. Basically the close yesterday, right? What was the close yesterday? 1312. That's a good entry point, whether it's a swing trade or long term. I like it for taking profits up around above 1750 or around 1750. That leaves you plenty of room. I think the run could be as high as 19, but 1750 is a nice profit margin if you're buying at 1310, and probably put in a tight stop just below the bottom of this candle, maybe 12. So you buy at 1310, stop at 12, take profit 1750. That's a long shot, but I like it. I like that trade. I might add to my position just to make that trade. Okay, we're going to stop sharing. It's been a long day for Dr. J. Probably been a long day for you guys. So it's 9:15. It's almost past my bedtime. No, just kidding. But it's getting late. I'm getting hoarse. I got a horse right here. His name is Paul Revere. Can Do, Guys and Dolls. Who sang it? Let me know. All right, have a great evening. This has been Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York. Don't forget to hit the G. Hopefully I'll have it up there. Subscribe, please. Good night. Shalom. Sayonara. Au revoir. Arrivederci. Ciao. Hasta mañana.